Is COVID-19 vaccination the biggest vaccination scam we are yet to see in human history? My name is Danilo and you're welcome to another edition of Danilo Reacts. SARS CoV2, Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus Type 2, is a strain of the coronavirus which emerged in late 2019, precisely in December, in a town called Wuhan in China. And since then, this virus has spread throughout the whole world and has caused a worldwide infection, leading to the present pandemic that we are in presently. As at the time of recording this video, there are over 173 million cases worldwide and over 3.7 million deaths due to the coronavirus. COVID-19 vaccination started in late 2020. There are essentially two types of COVID-19 vaccines out here in circulation. We have the DNA vaccine and the mRNA vaccine. The DNA vaccine is a derivative of the genome of the adenovirus which infects chimpanzees, but this adenovirus does not infect humans. Now, the adenovirus and the coronavirus have similar structures, precisely the spike protein found on their surfaces. So the genome on the adenovirus, the specific gene sequence on the adenovirus responsible for the production of the spike protein, is spliced out of the genome of the adenovirus and is used in the production of the DNA vaccine. Now, once this DNA vaccine is injected into the human being, it moves into the cytoplasm and gets into the nucleus of the cell and is transcribed to produce messenger RNA. Now, this messenger RNA then moves forth and is being produced, or is translated to produce the spike protein, which is expressed on the surface of immune cells, which generates an immune reaction. This is the desired outcome because it moves to protect the individual or the subject from subsequent infections or from severe forms of the infection. The mRNA vaccine, on the other hand, is the new kid on the block, and I would say it is a new and a more efficient way of vaccination. DNA vaccines need to be transcribed to produce messenger RNA, but researchers found out that this step could be entirely skipped, and instead of producing DNA, they produce the messenger RNA itself, which is, like the name says, messenger, meaning carries instructions from DNA. So instead of producing the instructor, which in this case is DNA, researchers rather develop the instruction, which in this case is messenger RNA. Now, once this messenger RNA is injected into the human, it moves into the cell, specifically into the cytoplasm, where it is then translated to the specific spike protein found in the coronavirus. This is then expressed on the surface of immune cells, and this leads to the generation of an immune response. This is new in medicine and has opened the way for a whole lot of possibilities, like a possible cure for cancer and why not HIV, which I'll be talking about in subsequent videos. As at the time of recording this video, the vaccines are already in circulation, and among the DNA vaccines that are in circulation, we have the Johnson & Johnson produced in the USA, we have the AstraZeneca, which is also produced in the UK, we have the Sinova and the Sinopharm, which is produced in China. These are just some. And then we have, for the mRNA vaccines, we have the Pfizer, which is produced in Germany and Belgium. And then we also have the Moderna, which is produced in the USA. Now, what is the aim of vaccination against COVID-19? It is to protect the individual receiving the vaccine from developing severe forms of the disease or severe forms of the infection, right? A lot of people get confused with this, right? When you get infected, you can develop severe forms of the disease, but when you receive the vaccine, the severity of the infection diminishes. Okay, it diminishes. So the vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting infected, it prevents you from getting the severe forms of the infection. And if enough people are vaccinated, we can get to a level where we attain herd immunity, and this herd immunity will help to curb the spread of the virus worldwide. According to a research led by Public Health England, they found that among the people that have been infected previously by the virus and have survived, they also developed an immune response against the virus that can protect them from subsequent infections, from subsequent severe forms of the infection. But it doesn't prevent them from getting infected by the virus and transmitting the virus from one individual to another. So if you've been infected with the virus, you can develop immunity against the virus, and it will prevent you from developing severe forms of the disease, but it won't develop you from contacting the virus again. You can contact the virus and you can even transmit it from one place or from one person to another. If you are getting any value from this video, do well to hit the like button so that this video can be recommended to others, and don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments in the comment section below. Moving forward, conspiracy theories or conspiracy hypotheses, let me put it this way, as to the origin of the virus. At the beginning of the pandemic, it was thought that, or it was hypothesized that, the virus had jumped from animals, specifically the bat, into another animal which was not identified, and then it started infecting humans. The first case was detected in Wuhan, China. Now, as time went on, there was some sort of a change in idea, because a lot of prophets of doom were preaching that this virus was manufactured in a laboratory, or that it was a mistake, that people were experimenting on the virus, and then maybe there was a leakage, or there was a leakage or some sort of mistake, and the virus got into the human population. But then WHO put out a document saying that the most likely hypothesis was that the virus had skipped from animals into humans, and that it was less likely that it was being manufactured or that it leaked from some sort of a laboratory. But in May of 2021, US President Joe Biden ordered for a closer review as to the origin of this virus. China responded to this by saying that the US is trying to spread conspiracy theories against them, and they also speculated that the virus may have originated in the US, and that the US laboratories should also be investigated. Here's what I think. The US and China will continue to go back and forth against each other, and we might never really know the origin of this vaccine, right? Because there's a lot of media, there's a lot of news going on, and people get easily distracted by what is happening on the media, but there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that we don't know of. Let's look at it this way. Concerning the COVID-19 vaccines that are being produced and distributed worldwide, at the top of the countries producing the highest COVID-19 vaccines, while China at number 1 and the US at number 2. We also know that during this lockdown period, there was a spike, or there was a boom in the e-commerce sphere. There was a boom in online businesses, and at the top of the countries with the highest, online business presence, while China at number 1 and while US at number 2. So looking at it critically, you see that this is just power tussle between the US and China. It is not really about the virus, it is not really about the vaccine, it's not really about curbing the pandemic, it's about who gets to control the economy, who gets monopoly, who gets to control the economy, who gets to make the money moves. So guys, stay blessed. Do not believe everything you see, do not believe everything you hear, because the media can be deceiving. Anyway, this is where I end. I hope you have received some value out of this video. Please do well to get vaccinated. Yeah.